Coach, you were 5-79 last year. Why the playoff talk?
Well, we made a couple of key trades, and we got the funk.
Oh, well, glory be, the funk's on me, Bobble.
Keep that funk alive. Keep that funk alive.
Well, it's 1975, and we just be keeping the funk alive.
Aloha and hello out there, everybody. What's going on? This is Miho from the Too Close to Call cast. I am joined, as always, by my co-host Pags, and this is the 0 to 100 podcast, where we give you guys our favorite athletes or favorite song, favorite band, apparently. That's what Pags threw at us last time for 38, so who the hell knows where we're going this time for number 39?
Yeah, man. 39. Did you just come up with anybody?
Dude, 39 brings absolutely nobody to the forefront of my mind. Not even like just in Philadelphia, man. I was trying to think of like anybody ever. And I was like, I don't think anybody's ever worn this number before. It's one of those numbers. It must be off limits for everybody ever because I can't think of nothing.
I came up with one Philadelphia, and I'll hit you with that at the end.
Okay. All right. And I did some research then because I couldn't find anything. And there were two names that popped up, and they were some good names. One was from the Gridiron, and that is Larry Zonka of the Miami Dolphins. There you go, Mr. Larry Zonka. And my first thought is I have a little bit of a bone to pick with the Zonka family. The CS at the front, you don't need both letters, okay? Just one of them serves its purpose here, right? Like with the CS, what's going on there? I'm not buying that. It's just an extra letter I got to write and remember. It's bullshit, in my opinion.
How the hell is there not a Z in there?
Zizanka?
Szanka. Like, yeah. He was one of the last great white running backs. Can you name a better one? Peyton Hillis?
Peyton Hillis? Hey, he was on the Madden cover. That's something Mr. Zonka never did.
The one-hit wonder. Hey, I like Larry Zonka pops up on Ballers all the time. He's a hilarious character in there, and good. Him and John Riggins in the 80s.
Yeah, dude. So let's see here. 8 years with Miami, 3 actually with the Giants. I don't think I ever knew he went to New York and played with the Giants. Yeah, at the end of his career, and then he signed with Miami for one last year to hang him up in 1979. But was part of the 72 Dolphins, I believe it was, that went undefeated. And they followed it up with another ring here, it looks like in 73. So 2 rings for him, a Hall of Fame inductee in 1987, first-round pick. But again, Szanka. That's how we should pronounce it, because that's ridiculous.
Yeah, he comes with a solid name named Larry, and then he gives us a CS in the first name. It's like, huh?
Yeah, his parents were like, listen, he's going to have a hard enough life as it is, having to spell and tell everybody Szanka is not his name, so let's just give him a white American first name. Okay, what are you thinking? I'm thinking Larry.
That's a good one. Well, while you're sticking with this, I know you have another one, but speaking of white running backs,
Heyo.
Danny Woodhead.
Oh,
39,
hey.
Division II school, Shadron State?
Shadron State? Oh, dude, you're about to piss off all the alumni listeners from Shadron State.
Solid numbers for Danny. 4 years in San Diego. Probably some of his better years were in New England. Everyone remembers those. 10 TDs, 1,200 yards rushing in 3 years, 982 yards passing, over 2,000 yards from scrimmage. Finished it up with the Jets there. I completely forgot he was on the Ravens at the end of his career, but he sure was fun to watch, and he was kind of that Darren Sproles-esque player, not as explosive as Darren Sproles, but definitely fun to watch out there.
Is he still playing? Is he still in the league?
No, he retired. He retired in 2017 with the Ravens.
Interesting. Yeah, okay. He bounced around a little bit there based on what you were saying. Oh, dude, New England just churns through those backs like Woodhead. It's unbelievable.
Oh, it's crazy. But yeah, 2 years with the Jets, I mean, he had a solid career, and he was definitely one of those guys in fantasy that you wanted to pick up because he would have a ton of catches.
Oh, look at that. Hey, while you were talking, man, I was doing some research, and I don't know if this counts, but I'm taking a little bit of your magic when it comes to the pod here. Did you know a Philadelphia Eagle who wore 39 his rookie season and then switched to number 24? Who do you got?
Sheldon Brown?
Yeah, Sheldon Brown wore 39, actually.
He's the only 24 I know for the Eagles.
Right? That's because he's the best one. We mentioned him earlier, but 2002, it looks like he wore 39 in 16 games for him. Didn't start that year, but I Googled his name to see it, and he had the frame jersey in the background with 39. Obviously, his rookie jersey, it keeps a little bit of value for him there, but I was like, no shit, look at that. But so who's your Philly guy? Because that's really all I was coming up with.
Probably one of the greatest at-bats in Philadelphia playoff history, where literally the crowd did not stop cheering for 5 minutes. Brett Myers.
Brett Myers was 39. Oh,
Do
man.
you remember that at-bat?
Sure, that was 2008 CC Sabathia.
Dude, he fouled off like 8 pitches, and he was just he gets on first after a walk, and he just puts his hands over his eyes and just no idea what I was doing there.
Well, that's because he was one of the worst hitting pitchers that the Phillies had forever, and kind of the running joke or gag was that he thought he was one of the best hitting pitchers and always carried himself with swag and I'm kick ass, and then would go up there and then just strike out all the time. And that's where he finally, fouls off 3 or 4 in a row, and the crowd's like, all right, man, go you. Give it hell out there. Keep doing your thing. It was ball 3, and everybody's like, oh, okay, yeah, let's go. And then he gets on. He's like, I got eagle eyes. I told y'all, let's go. And then Victorino hits that hanging slider out later in that same inning and blows the place up and sends them on their way, kind of slingshots them on that run, in my opinion. And, oh, God, Brett Myers, he was sent down to the minors that year, man. That's unbelievable if people forget that. They were reminded this year. Everybody's trying to say Nick Pivetta is going to pull a Brett Myers, but I don't know, man. He was an interesting cat because he started some years, then he was a closer sometimes, then he was back in the rotation, and we'd piss him off by flipping him back and forth. Oh, dude, Brett was an enigma for those teams.
2008, the game that we had mentioned against the Brewers, beat the Dodgers with a 9 ERA, so that game must have been high scoring in that game, but he still got the win.
Way to go, Brett.
And then he was the only one to lose in the World Series. He lost to the Rays in game 2, but he came to play when it was time to play, and not the greatest stats when you look at the overall, like you said, in 2008 was sent down. He was 10-13 that year for the Phils, so not the greatest, but came on when it counted.
Came on when it counted, and I'd enjoyed watching him because he came up, and early in his career, those teams weren't great, and he was kind of a big, burly guy and always had an attitude and was fun to watch. And, well, now he's a country singer, Pags. Have you been following his music career at all since he hung him up?
He came on WIP the one day and was talking about it, and I was like, no way.
Yeah, you didn't know that, dude. He's got CDs and music videos and shit. He's actually got some solid play counts on YouTube. It's not the worst thing you've heard, man. I mean, he's not a star yet, in my opinion. Obviously, he's going to get there. But when you listen, you're like, all right, man, do your thing. I got you.
Good for him. Something post-baseball to hang your hat on. I like it.
Yeah, and the last gentleman I had here was a thorn in our side for years and years and decades almost, man, when he was with the Buffalo Sabres from 92 to 2001, and that is Dominik Hasek. In my opinion, the top 2, maybe 3 goalie of all time, and it is... Dude, watching him play growing up, he was so fun to watch because he was not technically sound in any way whatsoever, dude. He would sprawl out all over the place. He was one of the first guys I remember watching stack the pads, and he would go on his back and swing his legs over the top of his head. And nowadays, everybody would be like, what the hell are you doing? There's so much space. Just take up more space. And then you look at, 735 games later, the guy's got a 2-2 goals against with a .922 save percentage. I'm going to let him do his thing.
So you think him, Watt, and Brodeur are probably the top three?
Those are the three names that come to mind in our era. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Obviously, beforehand, some the baby boomers may have
Yes.
something different to say, but for us, it's definitely those three. And I would love to see them kind of side by side, man, because when you pull it up here, you know, his awards, Dominic Hasek, let's see, he's won 4 Vezinas as the best goalie. Or MVP. 2 Hearts, I think, is the MVP, and it's just the guy was unreal, man, in those years carrying Buffalo.
He seemed so small in the net because he was like a shorter guy, but dude, he was unbelievable. You think of Brodeur and you think of Watt, they were kind of just like your generic goalies nowadays. But I do remember just him flailing the legs up, kicking the puck out of the air. I'm like, we can't score on this guy.
He would always flail on his back, throw his arm back down on the ground on the breakaway move when they'd go to the backhand, and it just seemed like he always got in the way at the last moment when there was so much net to be had there, and it just frustrated the hell out of people.
In those red and black Buffalo
Well, yeah,
Sabres
and then
uniforms.
Buffalo's like, hey, I think he's done. We're going to move on. What's he do? He goes to Detroit and wins a cup or two and takes them on, postseason runs. And you're like, this guy's 40 years old. How the hell is he doing this?
Unbelievable. He was very impressive, but also very frustrating for Philadelphia fans.
Oh, man, it was the worst. So what do you got? You got any last-minute screwballs for us here with the number 39?
I'm out, man. Brett Myers was my golden goose today. And,
I like it.
I can't think of anybody else.
Well, I took a page out of
Hopefully-
your book, and I started Googling bands and songs, and apparently Queen did a song that's titled 39, as in the year. You know, it's got the little thing there at the top that tells you they're talking about a year and not just the number. Apostrophe, is that what it is? But it's at the front? Yeah, I don't know. Apostrophe 39. We got ourselves a year here. I'm reading the lyrics. No clue what it's about. Who knows? Check it out. Let us know your thoughts. It's pretty ridiculous, but that's it, man, for 39. Another kind of bare number here. Maybe we'll get some action coming up here in the 40s.
I was going to say, this is the end of an era. We're done with 30s. On to the 40s.
On to the 40s out there. But everybody listening, do us a favor. Call us in at our hotline. Let us know your favorite number out there, 3940. If we've done one in the past, you want to chime in, that's cool. The number to hit us up is 484-238-0735. 484-238-0735. Leave us a message. Give us your take. We'll play it on the pod. Follow us on social media at Too Close to Call Cast, the number 2 both times on all the platforms. Like us, subscribe, hit us up. We're growing by the day, getting voicemails by the hour. Hit us up, get on the pod, join the family.
Yeah, guys. We will talk to you guys soon. Later.
Peace.
Coach, you were 5-79 last year. Why the playoff talk?
Well, we made a couple of key trades, and we got the funk.
Oh, well, glory be, the funk's on me, Bobby.
Keep that funk alive. Keep that funk alive.
Well, it's 1975, and we just be keeping the funk alive.